Alright, so we've done the five. We've done the five. C, D, A, E, G. And remember, for that G we were looking at, you start on G, go to D, go to A, go to E, go to C, going up the strings, going down the strings, it's relatively in fourth. The fourth of G is C, the fourth of C goes to E now, not F, because we're not going in a circle of fourths, we're going in a circle of string-shaped fourths. Okay, so relatively here's our diminished fourth, but then we go back to regular fourths, E to D to G. And that's not particularly because of the tuning warp. It's not because of the tuning third that I know of. But I could always be wrong. Because in the violin, where there is no tuning third, you could still employ the same method with double string shapes with the violin. Okay? Now we want to look at the long patterns real quick. So the long patterns we're going to play, the 5, 1, and 4 there are, if you just wanted to know a way to play a Mixolydian scale, you just go 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's your right there. And then from here, I've shown these shorter patterns are just shown to put the long pattern in context. But this right here is what this is what we are studying in these boxes, the long patterns right here. Again, I put the short patterns surrounding them so you know where to go when you're finished with the long pattern. To play it for sure, you can always double back and do a little half string shape there, and then pick up the short pattern from the original down here. That you can do too. But to make it simpler, so we're just looking at the long pattern. Now, we're not studying long patterns for that reason. We've done that a whole lot in previous lessons. In this lesson, we're looking at the major triad. Okay, so the reason why I'm showing 7 here, actually it's 7 to show all the modes, but really we want all 5 string shapes. So we have C, okay, we have A, G, we have E, and we have D. Okay, and this E is shown just to show where we'd go to. So let's just look at the C string shape. This is interesting, but now remember, the C doesn't have to play the long pattern. We have complete diatonic scaling on the C box. But if we want to play the long pattern, it would go, so C, D, G, D, now into the long pattern. Warp up the root 2, 3, and follow with the 4, 5, 6. So we can do the long pattern in the C box. What if we wanted to do the G long pattern? So what does that mean? Well, if we wanted to do a G from the capo, it would be we don't have that F sharp if the fret nut's there or the capo, so we'll do a G long pattern. It's going to start on a G short pattern. So we do like 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, then into the long pattern. And then we're going to pick up 7, root 2 of that G right here, F sharp, G, A. We wanted to do the long pattern for the D pattern. Okay, now rather than do a different thing from a D pattern from the, which would be, I guess, from the capo would be in the key of D, we're going to stay in the key of C here. And we're going to do a long pattern from the D, so it'd be 2, 3, 4, and then into the long pattern. Okay, now when we come out 7, root 2, all right, we're not going to go back here. Right. So we got to warp up that 7, root 2, and then we're now in the next cage. D cage goes to C cage. Okay, so as if we had played the whole thing from the C cage, as if. So it takes us up into the next cage. Long patterns always take you into the next short pattern cage. So you get used to it. Believe me, it took some getting used to for me to do that. So now when we're just doing the A shape, the R shape, we would start root. Okay, let's look at I don't know. I happen to have a fret nut right here for a C. Let's tune up there. Okay, so for my C, if I'm going to do a long pattern, it's going to be from the root here. So it's root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, and then we're just going to pick it up over here. The 7 goes under the 3, okay, but it's going to be, that string 4 is going to be the 3, and then warping up the 6, 7, root, and 2, 2, 3, 4, E cage goes into D cage. There's a D string shape right on top of that. Notice. Now wait a minute, something don't look right there. If we were starting from the root, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings. Okay. Okay, so okay, it's important to remember that the shape that we put on top of that 7 root 2, okay, is going to be the fifth of E is going to be the C shape's going to go there, because we're looking at this C shape here, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if we're going to go around, I've just shown these for context, but as soon as you get into a short string shape again, you can go ahead and go up in the short string shape pattern as usual, you know. So I forget what we were doing. We were starting from the root there. Okay, so we want root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Okay, then we go into a C pattern back here. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Then warp up for 6, 7, root. And then into 2, 3, 4. So we end up in the next cage. Does that make sense? So the E shape, this is the E shape we started. Root started on E shape. We ended up in the D cage. That's another way of looking at it that's a little more clear. So the reason why I've shown all 7 here, all 7, and we'll watch them. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to sing a little song. Is so that we have all of our root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is another way of looking at it. We've got all the modes there. But they're also shown in context. I just happened to put 7 of them, so we'll have all 7 there. So if we're going to start, you know, this is the major, this is the minor, and the long pattern, okay? So if we want to do is start from a C, well, we don't need the long pattern on the C, but we need that long pattern on the G, because we're not going to get that F sharp. So let's start a long pattern on the G. Up here would be, let's put the capo somewhere. So the 6, let's say we're going to play it in the key of G now. So E becomes the 6. Here's our 6. I'm going to do our G. Okay. Right there, it's going to be 6, root 3 there. Then straight up for the 6th in the extra long, and then to the root again of G. G string root. Now we're going to go way up here for the 3rd, and then to the 6th, but we got to warp it up, and then to the root again. Hey, we're out of time. It's been a good lesson. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.